What is going on, everyone? Steve-O Supremo here, and I am just another game collector. In today's video, you're looking in front of you. You're not seeing any games because I did something crazy yesterday, guys. I did something insane. We're gonna get into the story, but let's just cut to the point. I bought over 3,000 DVDs yesterday for 300 bucks. Why in the world would I do that? Let's get into it because this does have to do with collecting. It's not game related, but this is collecting, and there are other medias that I do like to collect for. I'm always hunting out for to see if there's anything I want to get for the collection. But why did I walk away with over 3,000 DVDs yesterday? Let's get into it right now. So as you can see here in front of you, there's a couple of random assorted DVDs that out of the first box of many, which I will show you, that I found some stuff out of that I thought was interesting. Especially this bad boy right here. Hell Comes to Frogtown with Roddy Piper. I did not even knew this existed, and then I saw this in here. I was like, wow, this looks insane. Had to watch the trailer, and I definitely plan on watching this today because it just looks like lunacy. But incredible little find here in just the first box alone, because I think it's like a $40 or $50 DVD in one box. But it's not really about the price or anything. So what led to this? Why do I now have over 3,000 movies just sitting in my garage? Well, I saw a listing yesterday on Facebook Marketplace of a person who was selling movies for 25 cents a piece and TV series for $1 a piece. I was like, well, that's a really good deal. Let me go over there and see if there's anything I want to get to add to my movie collection, any movies I want. I mainly go out looking for like monster movie stuff like Godzilla or anything along those veins because I love collecting all sorts of Godzilla stuff. I know the big thing for especially flippers and resellers, they look for like horror movies, like that's their thing. I hate horror movies, so I don't get none of that stuff. It's more just like the stuff that I'm into, like the Battlestar Galacticas and crazy things like this. If I would have saw this on the shelf, I would have snatched that. But that's more the stuff I'm into, especially like Godzilla. That was my number one thing. I want to go looking for Godzilla stuff. So I get to this house, and you guys just would not believe it. It looked like a mini Blockbuster in it. There was just a whole bedroom, kind of like my game room, where the wall was just wrapped with video games. But not just games. I mean, not just one wall, but 2 walls, 3 walls, 4 walls, another room, like everything. Just so much stuff was in this house. And when I got there, it was like 1:45. I was like, man, this is going to take forever to look through all this stuff. I was like, has anyone been here to like buy anything yet? This ad has been up for like 2 or 3 days. She's like, no one's really come to look through anything. So we're happy someone's here to finally look through some of these movies. Unfortunately, their mother, who was about 80 plus years old, had passed away, and she was the collector and hoarder of all these movies. Like, she just loved collecting them. She didn't even really watch them. She just put them on a shelf. You can see here on the side of these boxes, she would tape like the number code of how many she had. She had like a sheet. She kept track of them. This is number 3063 in the collection. And yeah, unfortunately, that kind of ruins the box stuff, but who cares? That's how she kept track of it, and she just would just keep buying them and putting them on a shelf. And she was just a big collector. She collected everything. They even said while digging through some of this stuff, they found a bunch of old Pokemon cards. They don't know anything about Pokemon, but they gave them to their grandkids. But she said they had first edition and stuff all over them, and then one of her grandkids, which these people are older, they're like in their 60s. So one of the grandkids called and said, Mom, there's like stuff in here worth 700, 800 bucks of these cards. So they've been finding all sorts of stuff in their mother's house, including possible video games in the future. There is a second house across the street that's full. She's like, I'm sure there's video games over there, older ones, and possibly VHS tapes. So you'll be the first one we call. We exchange phone numbers because they said I bought stuff, so I'll get the honor of getting the first call. So I'm looking forward to that. But like I said, I got to this house around 1:45, and when I saw how much was there, I was like, this is insane. I'm not going to have time to go through this because I'm going to have to go pick up my kids from school. And after I started filling up a box with some stuff that I wanted for the personal collection, which I had already put like maybe 30 things in it, I was like, okay, this is going to sound crazy, but what do you want for this whole wall? And then I pointed at another wall. I was like, what do you just want for all these movies? And she's like, $300, you could just take it all. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to blind buy this whole thing, and it's just going to be an adventure going through all these boxes. So for $300, I bought all these DVDs to pretty much do a blind buy and look through everything, see if there's anything. I know there's stuff in one of the boxes that I want because it was one I was filling up with stuff. But out of the first box alone, guys, this was just like one box that had some stuff in it. And I'm already looking at like Tales from the Crypt. Like, this is so cool. This is the complete series of Tales from the Crypt. I remember being at my grandfather's house, and one of his best friends, we called him Uncle Donnie, who lived right above him, next house up the street. He would have satellite TV, and I remember going up there as a kid, and this would come on, and it would creep me out, man. This isn't something I would really classify as like horror anymore, because it's kind of not really scary at all, but it's something I would hold on to. Like, this would be like the only type of horror thing I would actually be interested in wanting to keep out of this stuff. But I thought like that was really cool. I don't know if that's worth money or anything, but it's something I want. My wife really enjoys Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so it's cool to have the complete series of that over here. I love Battlestar Galactica, and it's crazy how they had the first 2 seasons here in DVD format, but then they got seasons 3 and 4 in Blu-ray, so that's really cool. And then in the first box, like, I was just picking out stuff like what I thought would be interesting and looked it up. And I see this Tarzan complete series collection, volume 1. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a show. But apparently this is like a $30 thing. So is this volume 2. It's like a $30 thing. So this can help recoup some of my money back. I'm not too interested in Tarzan. But something like this, Little Abner. Like, it just looked weird. Yeah, it's like a $15 or $20 movie, so it's kind of crazy how what is lying in these boxes. My best friend, he's a big fan of Superman, so I'm going to be sending these to him. This is the Adventures of Superman show from back, I think this was in the 1950s. And I want to say there were 5 seasons of this, and I do have all 5 seasons because I remember seeing them was getting put in a box. Just the 5th one must be somewhere else, so this is awesome. Like, all this awesome stuff. And this is just like one little box. I'll go ahead and show you guys like what my garage is looking like. So take a little walk with me as we come through the mess. Like, here's a box that I'm going to be looking through here today. We got Deep Space Nine, which is the only Star Trek I actually started watching all the way through on Netflix. So that's cool to own. I think Fringe is in here. That's a series I really wanted to get into and watch. Stargate SG-1 stuff is in this box. It's just so much stuff, guys. So much stuff. 2 more boxes in the house. This is the one I was really digging through and going through yesterday. That I pulled a lot of that stuff out of that you saw in the video just now. But let me show you the garage. So now as we come out to the garage, you guys see I have this little stack of boxes here. This looked pretty interesting to me. I don't know what type of movies are in it, but 100 movies of the greatest sci-fi classics. And I just know there's just probably some low budget jank in these type of collections, but I just think it's awesome. Brain Twisters, Bride of the Gorilla. There's probably some really cool, cheesy movies in here to watch. So I just thought that was really neat. But yeah, more boxes. As you get a shot of my Croc slippers. You know, pretty sure there's your basic movies in here and everything. But it's just going to be fun to go through. It's just going to be a blast. Up here, Hobbit. I never seen this box set of Sixth Sense before, so that's really neat. Firefly, Species, Dementia, Creature Comforts. So just boxes and more boxes. There's just so much stuff, guys. So much to go through. It's going to take a while, but luckily I'm in no rush. And I just think it's going to be a blast. So let's get back inside where it's a little bit more warmer. So there you go, guys. The crazy journey I went on yesterday. Again, wasn't a planned video that I had today. I actually had a video planned I did a nice little GameStop trade in where I took a bunch of stuff in yesterday to get some credit. Wanted to show you guys that. And maybe that'll be tomorrow or Friday's video. I have some GameStop orders coming in, so maybe I can combine that and see if they let us down with the pickups we did online. So be a little GameStop video. But yeah, I mean, this is collecting, and how I wanted to wrap that up is like, that is one way, like I've said, the bulk collection buys is really how I like to grow my collection these days. You just buy a bulk lot, get everything you need for it. Unfortunately, you do have to go through the pain of having to list stuff to get rid of all the extras, but that's just one of the things with collecting now, if you're trying to do it the cheapest way you can. But if you're like me, like I've said before, it just ends up sitting in boxes in your garage, like a lot of these movies probably will, until I can get rid of them for really cheap at a yard sale myself. So, but it is one great way if you're trying to start a movie collection. Like for 300 bucks, you can have over 3,000 movies. That's a pretty big movie collection to get going with if you wanted to start one. And I can tell you a lot of these will be staying. I can't wait to see what's in here, the stuff I want to go through. I know I already saw some in the first box, Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. Like, love that movie. That's staying. I saw Bird on a Wire. I just talked about that. I don't know if I talked about that in the video recently. I did, in the Blockbuster one. Found that in a box, so that's going to be staying here. Just, I'm excited. I'm excited to go through this stuff and see all the wacky things I can find in it, like this bad boy right here. So what do you guys think? Am I just a complete nut job for doing this, or was it just too good to pass up and you would have done it too? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.